Copy Editing Overview Part 4, The Author's Voice, plus other types of editing. In copy editing, as few traces as possible should be left behind. If an author sees the copy editor's footprints all over their text, it means that the copy editor didn't preserve the author's voice. An important aspect of copy editing involves being conservative with changes. Correcting errors of grammar, spelling, syntax, and style are the priority. From the CE's perspective, making the manuscript their own is not. When authors complain about a copy editor, it's often related to the copy editor changing too much. Let's look at a few different types of editing. Language polishing. This is a term that's often misapplied and confused with level 3 copy editing. Language polishing involves editing text that may be grammatically correct, but that could be improved in terms of readability, the way the text flows, and the overall elegance of the language. It encompasses recognizing the nuances of the individual author and enhancing the way in which the text is written while retaining the inherent voice of the author. Observing and honoring the author's voice is a huge issue. Think of an author who has just had his first book published. Keep in mind, most authors are concerned strictly with the content. They're usually unaware of misspellings, grammatical errors, and problems with punctuation. Assuming that the manuscript falls under level 2, if the copy editor does their job correctly, the author will say to himself, "Wow, I wrote a great book." But if the copy editor is heavy-handed, makes unnecessary changes to aspects such as word choice, and ignores the author's voice, the author may say, "I didn't write this book. The copy editor wrote this book." The goal of the copy editor is to be unobtrusive, almost invisible, to make changes that correct the text, but that do not disrupt the message or change the content in any way. Common examples of completely unnecessary changes include changing may to might and until to till. In both of these cases, if the copy editor makes these changes, they are not honoring the author's voice. Mechanical editing. Prior to desktop electronic publishing, manuscripts were submitted on paper. Copy editors would mark hard copy using specific symbols, which instructed the typesetter as to how text should be composed on a page. This was primarily related to how it would look. When digital typesetting was introduced, typesetters quickly realized that computer scripts could be written to address these very routine and predictable formatting concerns. This process became known as mechanical editing or pre-editing. In theory, the pre-editor's job is to address anything that can be automated to save the copy editor time. It's best done before the copy editing stage. Developmental editing takes place prior to pre-editing. It's usually done strictly with books. A subject matter expert is required who reviews the text and ensures that it meets the expectations of the target audience. A DE will generally work directly with the author over several months, organizing content, suggesting the inclusion or deletion of sections or chapters, and rewriting as needed. In some cases, publishers will engage a developmental editor when they have a celebrity author who's popular enough to sell his story but cannot write well enough to produce a book on his own. When you see a book that includes the name of an author on the cover with a line that says, "with John Doe," or "as told to Jane Doe," that second person is generally a DE. Developmental editors tend not to worry at all about the finer points of the text that involve grammar or even consistency. They are well aware that these tasks will be addressed by the copy editor later. Be sure to see our posts concerning specific language areas that can be problematic for authors and editors and that can make for a rough ride along the road. For more tips for authors, visit vertuspublishing.com, where we publish new content twice a week.